Welcome to another live episode of Tea with Teash podcast. I am your host, Teash, and today we have my poo, one of the best locticians, in my opinion, in Kansas City and a lot of other spaces, Miss Keyetta Jemay. She is the owner of Locks and Key. So let me go ahead and get the greatest loctician on here. Hold on, y'all. So as y'all know, I'm always having some kind of difficulty, and I'm waiting for my poo to join. And while we wait, I hope you guys' Saturday is really amazing. I know that it's been really rainy here in Kansas City, but still have you a good old drink. It's still Sip Saturday. As I am waiting for Keyetta to join. Hello, hello.
Hi.
See, I started to pull a U and I wear my glasses, but I had come to the realization I can't see and I don't wear contacts. So,
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize I had my glasses on.
yes, you're so
Look,
cute
let me
without
grab
them,
my
though.
glasses.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
So, child,
Let's
was a little
see.
behind because I had to run through this house to get everything I needed to get. And I was like, oh my God, I had to get my candy. It was a lot of unnecessary stuff that I had to get. That's neither here
Okay.
nor there.
Okay.
So, we ready. So, how are you today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm good. So, I said, let me hurry up and get my boo on here because I know that her schedule is so full. You are the greatest, in
Thank
a lot of
you.
people's opinion, including myself. So, I said, let me go ahead because you busy, child. So,
Thank
all
you.
right. So, how long have you been in business? I know that you celebrated not too long ago. I want to say a year, but because that question was already brought out there, just go on and answer it.
Well, as Locks and Key, I actually have been under Locks and Key brand for 3 years,
Okay.
and in business professionally with hair has been 16 years, and overall 24 years.
Okay. So I was off. Don't worry about it, child. I think what it was is you were celebrating this location.
Yes, the location
Um,
is 2 years.
okay.
Yes, I believe 2 years.
I feel
No,
terrible
I don't
about
know.
that because you my poo and I didn't know that.
No.
Oh well, you had a celebration. That's all people need to
Yes,
know.
yes. No, and I think what you was probably looking at was a year with Shay. Shay Butter Locks being
Okay,
with
that's
Locks
what
and
it
Key was a
was.
year. Hmm.
Okay, well thanks for the clarity.
No, yeah.
Um, so what separates you from other locticians?
Um, I believe for me, what separates myself from other locticians is just being actually a real cosmetologist. I have a cosmetology license. I went to hair school, learned all about hair, overall hair, not just from a YouTube or other locticians or anything like
Yeah.
that. And no shade to anybody who does that. But I have a more understanding of hair itself. So I think that's what stands me different from other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of self-proclaimed individuals out here, and I do see a lot of individuals that may not even be licensed, but are really, really good locticians.
Yes.
I will say, for the most part, what I like about your techniques is because they're really clean, they're really precise. It's a lot of precision. You take a lot of extra care, and you're also assisting your clients with hair growth. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like, when me and my son first came to you about 2 years ago, there was someone that started his hair, and I remember you saying it's tangled. And because I'm not an expert in locked hair, I didn't know the difference. So because you take a lot of pride and expertise in your craft, I was very lucky to have built this amazing connection, which is now a friendship with you, and you do so well on his hair
Thank you.
and everybody else's. So I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Yes.
So you are so creative with your style, such as the petal ponytail, the inverted fishtail ponytail, the barrels, which he's trying to get more into, but he really loves the two strand, um,
Who
and the
doesn't?
petal hawk, the micro links, just to name a few.
Yes.
So just put that out there. I think you are starting to get more clients that love the micro links.
Yes. Micro locks. Yes.
Micro lock, excuse
No, you
me.
were fine.
Listen, I'm not the creative genius behind locked hair, so I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, teacups.
No,
But
you're fine.
and this was my writing, girl. I put micro locks on here. This was my writing. This was
Maybe you
my
was
writing.
researching somebody who do micro links because it is a thing. Micro links is a thing. So I don't feel too bad.
We micro locks, y'all. I'm sorry. So, share some trending lock styles for the fall. I know that some people convert as the seasons change to what style they want their hair in. So, in your opinion, what are the most requested styles in the fall?
I would say like the two strands or getting it braided in plaids. That's almost a year-round thing for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people. But typically in the fall and winter in updos, just to keep their hair off their head or things like that. And I know they do it all year round. Really, with locks, everything is kind of all year round to me. It's never like, oh, in season, this season, that season,
Okay.
or whatever. It's usually an all around thing because it
Mm-hmm.
just fluctuates. People go through a period of time of what's is trending in general, and then what they find what they like for themselves.
Okay.
So
So I know a lot of people may prefer, like you said, in the summertime, you want your hair up because it's really hot, it's humid, and depending on what type of work you're into, you really just
mm-hmm,
don't want to sweat excessively and have heavy hair on your neck.
right.
But also in the wintertime, you might want your hair down because it's cold outside. You know
Mm-hmm,
what I'm saying? But for somebody like me, that's weird. If I have a scarf around my neck, I don't want my hair down
right.
too. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So it could be either or.
Yeah.
So how important is it to get routine maintenance on your locks? Like some people wait a long time, and I know that it could cause either for I don't know, maybe your hair could start to shed a little bit if you don't get it treated properly. Maybe I really don't know. So because you are the expert, how important is it to get routine care?
It's very important, and it's also important to have a regular routine. Like whatever you start with, stick with that.
Okay.
So if your hair is used to going long periods of time without getting your hair maintenance, then your hair will be trained to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go, I'm gonna go 3 weeks, and now I'm gonna go 8, and now I'm gonna go 12.
Mm-hmm.
Now your hair is confused on what it needs to do in order to stay healthy and give you the best results with your hair.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's always best that I tell my clients just stay on a regular routine. Our regular maintenance is like 3 to 8 weeks. And like I tell people, if you can push it out, if that's your preference,
Yeah.
but on a steady, regular regimen, I'm able to catch anything that may be starting to go wrong with your hair within that 3 to 8 weeks, or I'll be able to give you more pointers on what you should be doing or not be doing at the same time.
Okay. So how soon it's too soon to retwist your locks? Because I know my son, we come in every 6 weeks. And I think he's the way we do it with him, it works for him. I don't see any breakage. I don't see that we're doing too much too soon. So is it one of those things that have to be determined by hair texture, the length of your hair, or is it just straight up and down at minimum week 6 to 8 or whatever? What would you suggest?
It's all of the above. It
Hmm.
depends on that person, whether they have a scalp condition, whether the texture of their hair, if their hair is more prone to being more frizzy, if they tie it up, if they take care of it, they work out, if they sweat. It's a
Hmm.
lot of different variables that can play a part in that alters it. And even if you decide to stick to a regimen at 6 weeks, your lifestyle might have changed at one point,
Yeah.
or your body chemistry might have changed at one point, and now we have to then recalibrate that the what we need to do for you. So it's always just an open communication with me and my clients. If I see
Hmm.
anything wrong, I'm like, okay, what's going on? What you been doing? Things like that. So it can fluctuate, but it is important to keep a routine and to pay attention as well with your hair, because I only see you once a month or
Hmm.
once every other month or things like that. So most people, you guys take care of your hair more than I do. And just
Yeah.
when you come in, I'm gonna make sure you get the best care that you or is available from us.
Okay. So, how essential is detoxification? Is that a really, really good thing? I mean, obviously, taking out all of um, the things that come from the air and things like that. And like you said, even with the scalp condition. So, I'm pretty sure just by the name alone, it's really, really essential to detoxify.
It can be, and it can also
Okay.
be very, very harsh to your hair as well, because
Okay.
typically most people do the apple cider vinegar, baking soda, lemon juice, things of that nature, which is very
Hmm.
acidic. with the can, break down your hair, dry it out, things of that nature. So it's important to be able to also put that moisture back into the hair. But
Okay.
my thing with detoxification is if you are on a regular routine and you take care of your hair in general, you won't need that. I've only detoxed my hair for fun
Okay.
one time. I feel like I don't need it. I make sure I take care of my hair. We give 3 shampoos at Locks and Key. So we're going to clarify it, we're going to stimulate you, and we're going to moisturize you back up. So therefore, you're getting all the things you need in that process, in that visit. So if you are doing everything we asked for you to do and you're not overdoing anything like over oiling or adding extra products in your hair, and then, you know, rinsing your hair and things of that nature is just as important as detoxifying it. So if you're doing all those steps to really take care of your hair, detoxification is not even something you actually really need to do. It's
Okay.
something that a lot of people, it's a trend. It's more trendy now than it is as necessary as people think they need it.
Okay, gotcha. So, what do you advise for anyone thinking of beginning locks? I know that we've talked about it at our first Tea Talk, which was audio last year. So, refresh us. What do you advise, like for anybody that's always been relaxed, even when they're wanting to start that process? What do you advise before they even start the groundwork on it?
Just always making sure you're starting with a good foundation of healthy hair. So, you
Okay.
know, if you're not taking care of your hair before you start locks, then your journey's going to start off on that base. So just remember what you're starting off with is kind of what you're going to roll into
Okay.
that process.
Okay. Um, so are there certain products that you recommend for lock care? I know that I have a habit of when I'm out trying to find different things for my son, even though we don't even use it. We just come to you and that's just period. But I do want to at least try to help him wash his hair. Um, and I have looked at YouTube. I don't think that you're supposed to really be coming so much for the root because you don't want to, I guess, unravel the lock at the root. But what would you recommend if I was to start getting things just to wash his hair, like, or even if we needed to do some maintenance if we're going longer than 6 weeks without seeing you?
So yeah, we use design essential products at our salon, and we're big on those. It's a black owned company, so of course, hey, you know, but we like that, and we're big on the process itself, not what the product is,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, because you can use any other products. There's a lot of other products that are very, very good on the market as well. As long, I always say, depends on your scalp, your health of
Mm-hmm.
your scalp and your hair and things like that nature. So if you're dealing with dryness, you need to clear up that dryness. And so
Okay.
that means that you have to use like a clarifying or a scalp type of shampoo, which is usually strips your hair really, really a lot. So you have to go back in and add that moisture, which is a lot of people's problem, is that they don't add that moisture back in. They'll
Mm-hmm.
use a dandruff type of shampoo and things like that, which is very dry into your hair. So I always say use multiple things. So
Okay.
use something that stimulates your scalp, use something that cleanses your scalp, and then also go back and use that moisture. And then just how you use the product as well matters as well. So rinsing it very good, rinsing it out very good, um, and lightly using products.
Okay.
A lot of people want to use a lot of products. Just lightly use products.
Okay. All right. So, do you ever offer any specials? Like I said, we're pretty locked in at this point, but for new clients, do you typically have any specials or is it like ever so often? How do you work that?
Typically, no, we do not offer specials only because we're always booked and busy.
Okay.
So it's hard to kind of throw specials in there when I'm already booked for 4 weeks out
Yeah.
or 2 weeks out at different times. So
Hey,
with
Shay.
me trying to, hi Shay. So with me trying to grow the brand and the business, that is a conversation that once me and Shay, when she first
Yeah.
started, also had. Like, let's throw some specials in there to be able to get some people to come in and sit in your chair. So when we add another person to our roster, I'm considering that more and more.
Okay, I love that. So, what's your method to thriving as a business owner in the beauty industry? Because I know that the 90s, early 2000s are very different than it is in 2024, near 2025. Strategies are different. Everybody does what works for them, but some people may not even last a year. So what advice can you give? How do you maneuver through the changes, like with trends and different things and all that? How do you stay strong through that? What's your advice to give somebody else?
My advice would be just stay true to yourself and don't expect a microwave success in the business. Like I said, I've been doing this professionally for over 15 years, and I feel like the last 3 to 5 years is where I actually hit the place that I'm actually happy and comfortable at. So if you're expecting to turn around within a year or two, even 5 years, then this isn't the business for you.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that no one cannot do that,
Yeah.
because it happens for some people, but you got to actually do it for the love of it, and I would just say, just continue to be who you are. Push yourself. um, like everybody now, take classes, which I am beginning to start offering classes.
I
Hey.
love that, girl. I might tap into the classes just to say I got some classes under my belt because I ain't gonna
Yes,
lock nobody
yes.
up.
Okay,
But
but you might
classes,
need to take
everybody
care of
want to
one
do
one
it.
day. You
You
might be
never
like,
know because
okay,
I'm always looking for a hustle. Now
yeah,
I ain't opposed to no
know,
hustle.
right. You might get a little snowstorm. We all snowed in and
Okay,
can't make it.
and then I'll be
But
in here like Key Watch. You never
right,
know. Never
right.
know.
FaceTime me. I'm gonna walk you right on through it. Okay.
Absolutely, for
But
sure.
yeah, I would just say, just stick to it and pray. I pray and talk to God a lot, especially with me branching out as a business and
Hmm.
wanting to help other locticians and people out in the industry so that they don't have to do it alone. So that's what I strive for my business, is to help people out so they don't have to do it alone,
Hmm.
give them the notes and the things that they need in order to feel
Hmm.
comfortable and confident in the field.
Well, I love that. You're all about togetherness. There is no competition here. You're always willing to help someone strive for excellence. And it's not even to say that they don't know what they're doing, but just adding an enhancement, just to say, sister to sister, sister to bro, I see you.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
there's anything I can do, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Just to help out. So, how do you balance the highs and the lows? I do know that in this particular business, you can have your fast moments, you can have your slow moments. What would you say would be your suggestion? Like, do you feel like maybe some people need to, have like a little safety net built up for those slow moments because you still got bills, you still have rent, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, what would be your idea of saying, you know what, you're going to have those moments where you're not making as much in this month that you normally would, but then you might shoot through the roof the next month. So what would you say to them just to kind of balance it out?
For me, I'm big on saving. I actually just had this conversation, somewhat of a conversation, with someone, another loctician in the
Hmm.
Kansas City area. She asked a similar question, and that was my answer: to save, 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 save until it doesn't bother you anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna come a time where, like you said, you're slow here, but you was fast here. So if you level it out, it'll level out on its own. So just because you made a whole bunch of money this month doesn't mean you're
Yeah.
gonna make a whole bunch of money next month, or even next week, or
Yeah.
even the next day. So for me,
Yeah.
it's like, don't run off with your money too fast.
Hmm.
Save it, um, and let it sit there. And then also, if it makes it any easier, implement certain types of rules that come into play that helps you with that slow season. But it's a part of the industry. It's a part of life itself too, because you never know when you
Absolutely.
might lose your job as a corporate person, or you might have to change jobs. So then that money gets a little slow until you get back on the pep of how they pay or how they do things. So
Yeah.
my suggestion is always save, regardless. And it's not about being a millionaire or being rich at that point. It's about making sure that you're
Yeah.
comfortable with what you have in your life at that moment.
For sure. So, since you mentioned corporate, what was the turning point in your life when you said, you know what, I'm really going to bet on myself and I'm going to leave the corporate world and I'm just going to do me? Because I'm actually struggling with that right now. I got the feeling maybe a year ago, you know what? I need to really focus on my artistry 100%. I would love to do that. I want to break free from corporate America. So what was that
Mm-hmm.
turning point where you said, you know what, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm a jump out there and make it work, see what's up.
So for me, it was kind of around COVID for me. I worked at the IRS for years. I actually did IRS and hair around the same amount of years, pretty much the same year,
Hmm.
honestly. Um, and with my grandmother used to watch my son, and of course, COVID was going really crazy, and a lot of people was catching it left and right heavily down there
Yeah.
at the IRS, and I didn't want to expose my grandmother to that
Hmm.
environment. So, and then just my support system, my team, my friends, um, special friends, and things of that nature, who was in my corner, rooting me on, or helping me sat me down and helped me to see it in different lights and avenues, so that I was able to kind of push myself a little forward and look at my business as a business as well. So I portray it to COVID,
Yeah.
my support system, my friends, and God.
Yeah.
I have been praying for years, like, God, I just need one job. I just need one job. I just need one job. And looked up and I was one job. And, like I said, I prayed for it and didn't realize I was even in that moment
Yeah.
of, my prayers being
Yeah.
answered.
I understand that 100%, especially when, you're a single mom, or even a lot of us that are not single parents. It's still a struggle every day to even deal with corporate America, the way management is, the way the atmosphere is, the way coworkers are. It's a lot of things that ride on your sanity now.
Yeah.
And I always tell you, I would love to work for myself. I want to work for myself. And I know that there's good and bad, just like
Mm-hmm.
anything else, just like with living,
Right.
there's good and bad.
Right.
But I am really spiritually at the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna jump out here and see what's tea, because your mental health is the best. I mean, it can be the best or it can be the worst,
Right.
depending on your condition. But that's all you got. And if your mental is jacked up, you got to do something different. And
Most
that's where I'm
definitely.
at. That's
Yes.
where I'm
Yes.
at. So definite big congratulations. You guys have expanded the shop. You guys have
Yes, we have.
done so many things. So tell the people what to expect from you in the near future. If you want to throw Shay into the mix, because I love both of you guys and I want you to be super, super successful in this new year. So just kind of giving
Thank
them,
you.
a highlight about what you got coming, what changes you've made, and how they can lock in with you at Locks and Key. See what I
Yes.
did there? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Because I am the key to locks. I don't know if you saw my
Period.
stuff, but I am the key to locks.
I
Is a
like
part of my
that.
logo.
I need to
Okay.
get my
One
merch,
of
boy.
my
You got to
clients,
help me.
one of my clients, I'll send you to my client. One of my clients actually made this cup for me when I moved
Okay.
to the current location. So I was excited about that.
Okay.
But of course, you can find us on our socials at @ locks and key underscore. And that's a funny story as well. But
Okay.
that's on Instagram. We're Locks and Key on Facebook as well. We have a TikTok. I believe it's Locks and Key as well. And then we have Shay Butter Locks, who has been with Locks and Key for a year. And as you know, I always appreciate her, not only because she is my niece and not only because she finally listened to me, but because she is really pushing herself hard. She's taking everything I'm giving her and showing her and showing it to the ground. So I'm so proud of her. We are in the process of possibly bringing another loctician in.
Okay.
We are still trying to work
Growth.
some kinks out with that and things like that. So hopefully soon you will get to meet and see her, and see her process with Locks and Key as well. And like you said, we have one location. We are at Freedom Salon Studios. um, I am in Suite 206. I expanded and put Shea Butter Locks in 207 so that the new person can come in and train from me and learn from me and be able to grow. And we do hope to do it again as well. Even if we are still inside of Freedom Salon Studios, we do have room for another person at another point. So we're just slowly growing, and I'm excited about the growth. I'm scared about the growth. Like I tell you all the time, like, hey, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Just because things don't happen the way you want them
Yeah.
to happen doesn't mean that you have to stop, or doesn't mean that you're not as good and anything like that. And speaking of things like that, congratulations to the winner of the Best Loctician of Kansas City People's Choice Awards. That's exciting for
Yeah.
her. And I finally made it to the finalists. It's been other years I only made it to semifinalists. Other years I was only nominated. So
Yeah.
I'm actually happy about that. It actually has helped my business grow, as well as just word of mouth with people, because everybody just enjoys our vibe, our energy
Yeah.
with our salon, and they do see a difference with us. So we do give the best shampoos.
I said
Know that. So
I
we
was
do
gonna come up
offer.
there and get
You
my
better.
scalp worked on, because I come up there and
Yeah.
play with y'all all the time. But I said, you know what? I have 17 strands of hair, and I would like to get my hair washed because the way I do my
Yes.
son's little scalp when he come through there, I'd be like, oh my god, maybe I should go and sit in the chair next.
No, for real,
But
because we do offer more than just locks. We do shampoo services, we do natural hair, and like I said, as a cosmetologist, I know how to do a lot of things. I used to do sew-ins, I used to do hair, roller sets,
who knew
the
that?
whole nine.
I didn't know
Yes,
that.
like yes, and I still do it. I still
Okay.
can. I straighten people's hair,
Huh.
all of that. So
See, the
I'm more than
hustle,
just locks
the
and
hustle
keys.
keeps going. The hustle keeps elevating. You
Yes,
never know who's gonna want what. Now, since you said
exactly.
that, I gotta throw a joke in there. So if somebody wanted a curl, would you be down?
Now I've never did a curl. I will
Okay.
say that. But
Okay.
I have a friend who was like, I'm gonna bring the curl back and you gonna do it. So I would have possibly did it,
Okay.
but hey, I don't know if I would have added it to my services, because the smells is just too much for me.
Okay. So, and I'm gonna ask something else silly. So when you have a Jerry curl, forgive me for those that might know the answer. I really don't. Can you dye your hair when you have a Jerry curl, or is it wise to not?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody have colored hair with a jerry curl. I would say yes. Well, I would
Okay.
say, would it be the best decision? Probably not, because there's a lot of chemical
Yeah.
situations going on.
Yeah.
The coloring is a chemical. Then they have to also put the perm on there, then rod you, then do activation and activate.
See all
Yeah, so it
that?
would be
That's a
too much.
lot.
But your hair will be moisturized, so that color might be popping.
Never
You know
know.
what I'm saying?
You know what
You
I'm saying?
never know.
Never know.
You never
All
know.
I just wanted to bring it to the forefront just for those that are listening that may wanna hop into a Jerry curl. Maybe they miss it. Maybe they know somebody that
Okay,
knows
like he
somebody.
said,
So
bring it back. He gonna bring
hey,
it back.
I'm just
You
saying.
gonna leave that
But
on that couch?
you know what I'm saying? Now, will people allow you to come over and things like that without putting a towel down? Probably not.
Well,
Uh,
the new furniture nowadays, you can wipe it away. So I
okay.
might let you come over.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
might let
hey,
you
it
come
just all
over.
depends on how much activator you're adding. But at the end of the day, we love good company. We love good food. So you might still be in
Yes.
the house. I don't know. But still,
Okay.
just kind of,
Just stand in
keep
the
yourself
middle of the
together.
floor. Yeah.
Especially if your
Just be
hair is
closest.
long. Baby, that curl could be on the back of my couch. And I got to make sure that you
Yeah.
cover it up, because I don't want to get up, mirror back on on Coming to America. The
Yes.
whole family got
The
up and it wasn't
whole
nothing but a
family.
mess.
Now you gotta keep
So,
them on the dance floor. You gotta keep them up. Go get that out the kitchen. We're gonna keep you
right.
busy.
Right. Makes me sick, girl. Makes me sick.
Yes,
But honey, I
yes,
know that your Saturdays are so busy, so full. And even though I always mess with you because you're so introverted, you're not used to speaking
yes.
publicly or in front of a lot of people. Thank you for sharing this moment with me.
No, thank
Obviously,
you for
you'll do
having
anything for
me.
me, but I
Yes,
really, really do appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have much success, which you will. So literally you had someone working alongside of you when I first met you, and from that
yes,
point you have elevated so massively. Shay came in, and now you're trying to add a third person, and you guys have another side of the suites. Honey, that's growth
yes.
in that short amount of time. You hear
Thank,
me? You are doing good.
thank you.
We stay
Yes,
locked
thank
in with
you.
locks and keys.
Okay, locked
Honey,
in with locks and
go
keys.
ahead. Go ahead and
Right,
say what Shay
exactly.
wants you to say.
Don't stutter. Book with Shea
I
Butter.
love it.
Cause
I love it.
I'm booked and busy. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
booked.
Yeah.
But
Because it's getting
if you
live
can
over
get
there.
in there, yeah. If you
It's
can
getting
get in
live
with
over
me,
there.
I'm worth the wait though as well. So however you want to see fit, but don't stutter. Shay get you together too.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. And like I said, all they have to do is check with you for those that want to start your locks, for those that want to maintain healthy locks, if you wanting to strengthen your growth.
Yes,
Key also has an amazing hair oil, and I will let
I
her
do.
highlight that really quick for you. That way you can get down with that. It smells so good,
Thank
and
you.
it feels really good to the scalp. Even though I'm not locked, I have purchased some and used it myself. But I'll
Yes,
let her throw that out there really quick for you.
yes. So I developed the oil, and the importance to me and then my team at that time as well was to get that same feeling that you get when you're in our shampoo bowl, that stimulation, that to your scalp, that cooling feeling, because we are heavy on peppermint and
I
just making sure your
love
scalp is
peppermint.
tingled. Yeah, see, that's why you need to come get the shampoo. Quit playing.
I'm gonna have to, like I said, I have 13 to 18 strands of hair now that I done cut it
You can
freshly. But
have two. We gonna get you
you know what
together,
I'm
okay? We
saying?
gonna get
So
you
yeah,
together. But the oil does have a lot of ingredients in it to help stimulate and also keep your hair in your head. Like I said, it has that cooling feeling. So after using it, you do want to cleanse your hands so that you don't rub your eye and things of that nature. We hopefully will not only just end there at Crown Tonic, but as of right now, that's what we have to offer. I'm trying to get Shay to get some Shea butter going
that'd
on.
be
She need to get some butter.
cute.
You
That'd
see,
be cute. Go
cause
ahead,
y'all
Shay. If
push
you need
her,
my
push
help,
her.
I got you. Go
Yes,
ahead and you know what I'm
yes, let's
saying?
push her
Call
so we can
me.
have a cream over there, oil over here.
That would be
You know, and like
amazing
you
though, for
said,
real.
Tish,
Okay.
You don't have to have locks to use our oil. It's a hair oil. It's an
Yeah.
oil. It's for anybody for that matter. So I do have people who use it who do not have locks. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I have friends, I have family who come in who get services of just the shampoo. So,
Yep.
you know, those are things that we stand out in our business as well.
Well, I love it. Like I said, I love you. I love the time that we have spent, and
Yes.
I know where you live. I know where you live, but I know that you are very
Okay.
busy, and I want you to be able to keep up the stride and getting everybody together on a day-to-day basis. But honey, you guys have to book with Key as well as Shay.
Yes.
Their artistry, the way they get down, is so organic and so unique in my eyes. And everybody else that comes through there, we love them. They're top
Yes.
shelf, and you need to get down with the team. So if you're not locked already, get locked.
Yes.
They'll get you together at Locks and Key for sure.
Yes, or
So
come see us before you get your braids. Like I said, we do the shampoo service, so anything you need, Locks and Key can give it to you. I'm telling you.
like that. So, well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you have to tune in later, that's fine. Make sure you share
Yes,
this episode because it's very, it's always lit, to be honest. There's somebody out there
yes,
right now on the fence of, do I want to keep, using the creamy crack, or do I want to just go ahead and get locked? Either way, they'll get you together. Watch this episode. Make sure that you're booking, liking, sharing, subscribe, whatever
yes.
Key got. Make sure that you're down with it and continue to follow, support, and book,
All of us. Yes,
book,
support all of
period,
us. Don't
book.
forget Tea with Teach podcast.
Because
That's
I'm getting bigger, y'all. So whoever didn't want to be
yes,
down, soon as I get real big and got try to spin a block, I'm gonna be like,
right. Too late. Let me
yes,
put my shoulder up. Back up.
you know what I'm saying? But I love you.
I
And
love
as
you
I
too.
always tell everybody at the end of every show, make sure that you keep enough room in your teacups for new
No
tea.
tea.
Because we gone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.